Yes, you read the title right. I'm reviewing every single Rise of the TMNT episode. Every single 39 episodes, I'm gonna be reviewing all of them one by one. So spoiler warning, because I'm going to be reviewing season 1 and 2 each episode. But before that, yeah, like I said, spoiler warning, but before we start, I'm going to just tell you guys, this is based on my opinion, but before that, I just want to read you guys a little plot of the series and let you know what the series is about. There will be a movie in 2020, this year in 2021, coming on Netflix this summer, so yeah, so I thought it would be a perfect time to review all the episodes. So let me just read you a plot of the series. Deep in the sewers of New York, 4 mutant brother turtles lurk. Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, and Michelangelo are in their early teen years, and the brothers go on new and exciting adventures. They tap into their mystic ninja powers to learn to work together as a cohesive unit and become a team of heroes. As they navigate the modern world and other hidden realms, the brothers get a new look, new weapons, and new powers as they discover the hidden city beneath New York, and it's time for a slice of their favorite pizza. So yeah. That's really the plot of the series. So I would want to tell you guys a few things that are different in this series. So in previous incarnations, Leonardo was the leader, but in this series, Leonardo is not the leader anymore, and Raphael is the leader. And Leonardo is apparently the prankster now, and Raph is the leader. Michelangelo is kind of the soft, emotional prankster like he always was. Donatello's the tech genius who tries to or thinks he's cool and stuff. But those are what the turtles are like. And April O'Neil is now African American. So yeah, that was okay with me because I didn't really mind. But yeah. So let's start with season 1, episode 1, Mystic Mayhem. So this episode is about the turtles discover they are not the only weirdest things in New York when they encounter 2 villains from the hidden city pursuing a Doglight agent. They have their first encounter with Baron Draxum, who's the main antagonist of season 1, who's making mutants with the help of his Uskitos. Uskitos are kind of like the mutagen in this series and stuff. This was the first episode, and it wasn't that bad. I didn't have high expectations for this episode, but yeah. I'd give this episode a 6.5 out of 10. So yeah, that's that. And next season, episode 2A, Origami to Sami. Sorry if I read any of these wrong, any of the titles, because I'm terrible at it. Yeah. Leo talks the team into tracking down the paper thief duo currently stalking the city. In doing so, the turtles run into the Foot Clan, who use their mystic ability to create origami warriors from stolen paper. I remember this was the episode that the turtles created a fake paper shop to track down the Foot Clan, and in the last part they fought the Foot Clan made origami kind of foot soldiers, and the turtles had to fight them off. It was pretty cool. So yeah, I remember this had one of them was also like a salami kind of foot. Yeah. So this episode was not the worst, but I'd still give it a good 7 out of 10. Next is episode 2B, Donnie's Gifts. Donnie creates new gear for his brothers in order for them to overcome their bad habits. However, the gear only becomes a nuisance as they fight the mutated chef dubbed Meat Sweats, who plans to cook the turtles in order to gain their powers. So really what this episode is about, Donnie gets kidnapped by a mutant named Meat Sweats, who's a new villain, and Leonardo, Raphael, and Michelangelo have to go save him from him getting cooked and eaten by Meat Sweats, who is a pig. This episode was weird. Just the plot of Meat Sweats eating Donatello was kind of weird to me, but it wasn't a bad episode, so I'd give it like another 6 out of 10, so probably the worst one so far. It was okay, but definitely not the best. episode 3A, Warden Pizza. This is actually my favorite episode. It's about the turtle. It's about April works at this place called Alberto's Pizza. The joke is kind of like the mascot is a bear, and his name's Alberto, if you get it. And so yeah, in order to save April's job as a captain party at Alberto's Pizzeria, Donnie upgrades the main animatronic of Alberto only for it to get out of control. So to entertain the kids at this birthday party, Donnie upgrades the main animatronics, but they end up going haywire. So this was actually my favorite episode, and Alberto is probably one of my favorite villains. It's sad we didn't really get to see him again. Like we did get to see him, but only for a few episodes. But still, a very good episode. I'd give it a 8.5, maybe even a 9 out of 10. Next is episode 3B. These episodes, if you guys didn't know, these episodes were actually split. So they were one of those episodes that an episode is 22 minutes, but they're two episodes. So each episode is 22 minutes. What I'm trying to say is there are 2 episodes in each episode. It's kind of like an 11-minute segments. So yeah, I'm just telling you guys, if you guys didn't know that. Anyways. Next is episode 3B, Newsworthy. To prove himself as the greatest enemy of the Turtles, a former news anchor, Warden, tries to make himself the Turtles' greatest enemy, but the Turtles barely acknowledge him and just ignore him for half the episode. But the main villain is Hypnopotamus, but Warden apparently just tries, who's kind of like the second main antagonist of this episode. But yeah, it's not the best episode. I'd give it a 6 out of 10 again. So yeah, definitely not a good episode. This the next one is season 1, episode 4A, Repo Mantis. So this is about Donnie and Mikey try to get a Jupiter Jim moon buggy vehicle from a repo yard, which is owned by Repo Mantis, who is a mutant mantis. So what a Jupiter Jim moon buggy is, it's kind of like a set car of Donnie and Mikey's favorite movie franchise, Jupiter Jim. And they try to get it from Repo Mantis, but he's kind of like a shady business dealer. And he sends Donnie and Mikey on a mission to go get this RV from this guy named Todd, who's also a mutant, and eventually doesn't keep his deal. So at the end, they had this cool race. I thought this was actually one of my favorite episodes, so I'd give this a 9.5 out of 10, because this was actually the best episode so far yet. So yeah. Episode 4B, Down with His Sickness. Splinter has come down with the rat flu and must deal with its 7 stages. So this is about the episode where Splinter gets the rat flu, and the turtles try to not, it's kind of like a chase, but each turtle ends up getting infected. So yeah. And the next episode is Mascot Melee, episode 5B. I don't want to go too in depth, but this episode is a pretty good episode, so I'd give it a 9 out of 10. 6A, Shell in a Cell. This is a wrestling episode. Leo unseats Raph's wrestling idol, Ghost Bear, from his title as the champion of the world after accidentally taking him from the rafters. Raph soon becomes annoyed by Leo's cockiness and decides to wrestle him himself. When Ghost Bear joins the fight, Raph learns that Ghost Bear doesn't play by the rules. This is a pretty good episode. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Next is Minotaur Maze. This is about the turtles stumble a part of a mill pizza where the mystical undercity, while following a fire yokai, Leo drags his brother into a pizza-shaped maze of death to obtain the ultimate prize. So this episode is not really that good, but it's still an okay episode, so just a 7 out of 10. Next is Bug Busters, episode 7. So this is a full episode. The turtles look for a way to eliminate New York City mosquito problem before more mutants are made. The plot brings them into a conflict with Big Mama and her plot to make mutants to fight for her entertainment in the Battle Nexus, which is soon joined by Baron Draxum, who's the main antagonist that appeared in the first episode. So Big Mom is kind of like this hidden main antagonist who is actually Splinter's girlfriend. And yeah, Splinter's, the rat trainer, but you guys should probably obviously know that. So yeah, this episode was okay. I'd give it a 8.59 out of 10. Next is The Longest Fight. The turtles have a hard time watching their skateboard idol Cindy Allen on the extreme skateboarding finals and stopping a burglary at Gilbert's department store conducted by the Foot Clan at the same time. This was actually a pretty good episode, I gotta admit. I don't know why, but it's a silly but fun plots to me that are cool and are creative. So, I'm not gonna waste too much time talking about it, but this is definitely a good 8.5 out of 10. Next is Hypno Part D Deluxe or something like that. 8B. Hypnopotamus returns and causes havoc at April's homecoming dance by hypnotizing the people at the prom or homecoming dance. I'm sorry about this, guys. Sorry if I can't really read anything, but yeah, because the words are kind of hard and yeah, whatever. Because, what I'm trying to say is just sorry, because my mouth is all mixed up this morning, because I just woke up and I was, recording as I wrote the script and stuff. Anyways, so this would get a good 9 out of 10, because I thought it was a fun episode to see Hypno's return and stuff. Next is The Gumbus. It's 9A. Leo and Mike investigate a mysterious specter haunting a themed supermarket called Stock and Shop, which leads to their encounter with Baxter Stockboy. Baxter Stockboy is kind of like the Baxter Stockman, except he's a boy, like a teen or tween, something like that. I thought this episode was fun, so I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Next is episode 9B, Mrs. Cuddles. April and her brothers make Raph face his greatest fear in an adorable kids' TV show rabbit named Mrs. Cuddles. However, things aren't so funny anymore when Mrs. Cuddles suddenly comes to life and begins haunting the turtle family to feed on their fears. Now, this one is probably my favorite so far. I know I said favorites, but those are probably my top 3. But this is my favorite one so far, actually. So I'd give this a 9.5 out of 10. 10A, Stuck on You. After an unfortunate glue accident, the turtles have to fight a whole host of villains like Mutant Silverfish, the Foot Clan, Hypnopotamus, and Warren Stone while literally being stuck together. And next is I'll Be Back. That's episode 10B. The turtles plan their first public musical gig at Alberto Land. When it happens, it gets crashed by Alberto and his army of animatronic bears that from failed Alberto's fast food franchises. So like I said, Alberto, my favorite villain so far, is returning. So this episode was a very cool episode. I liked it, so 10 out of 10. Next is The Purple Jacket. During a visit in April's school, Donnie becomes armored with an exclusive tech club, the Purple Dragons, which is This Purple Dragon is not like the incarnation that we see before of the Purple Dragons. These Purple Dragons are teens, apparently, and joins them on the spot. However, the dragons abuse his tech for criminal purposes. Don is forced to choose between stopping the crooks and losing his treasured purple membership jacket. This is the episode where I think Donnie's being stupid, because he lets his ego get in front of him and stuff. But overall, it's a good episode, a 9.5 out of 10. 11B, Pizza Pit. I'm going to go a little fast for these next episodes, so a 10 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Next is Smart Layer. a 7 out of 10. This is the first appearance of Sheldon. Next is the Hot Soup Game. I'd give this a 7.5, 8 out of 10. The Evil League of Mutants. This is where the turtles face most of their enemies, so I'd give this episode a definitely 9 out of 10. Late fee. The simple task of returning a single DVD just before its loan open period runs out complicated by endless craziness in New York, including an encounter with Ghost. So the turtles try to return a single DVD, but they have an encounter with Ghost Bear. So apparently this episode is, I give it a 8.5 out of 10. 14B, Bullhop. This is where we get introduced to a Bullhop who used to work at Big Mama's store, but he got fired, and I'd give this episode a 8 out of 10 because it was pretty funny. Mind Meld. So this is the episode where Donnie enchants his brother's intelligence. However, things get quickly out of hand when they begin displaying Donatello's personality traits as well. And Donatello's just getting annoyed by it, and the turtles become annoying. So definitely a good episode, so a 9 out of 10. Nothing But Truffle. So this episode is the return of Meat Sweat. So I'd give it a 9 out of 10. We see Todd from a previous episode, Repo Mantis. Next is Shadow of Evil. I'd give this episode a 7.5 out of 10. Portal Jack. So this is the episode where Leo loses his brothers in a portal and must venture to the hidden city where he dropped them to find them. While he goes and he grabs his kind of friend, Sueñor Hueso. I think that's how I'm pronouncing his name. To help him save. But they eventually run into some trouble where they meet Señor Hueso's brother, Captain PL, who's a pirate. Next is 17B, Warden and Hypno sitting in a tree. So apparently Warden and Hypno are now roommates, and the turtles have to fight him off. So let me read the plot. Baron Draxum, Huggin, and Munnin want the gauntlet that Warden Stone has, since it's part of a Kuroi Yoro, I don't know if I'm saying that right, armor, but he's not giving it up without a fight and a side of betrayal as the turtles get involved with Warren's roommate Hypnopotamus being threatened. April remembers who Warren Stone is, as she was a part of the fan club and dedicated to call him called the Stoneheads. Next is 18B. 18A, Operation Normal. Leo and Donnie desperately try to help April enjoy a quiet day with a friend named Sunita, but they learn that she's a slime yokai who uses a special amulet to turn into a human. They soon get targeted by the Foot Clan. That boots Sunita's human form is wearing are part of the Kuro Yoroi. I don't know how to say that. 18B, Spartan Partner. So this episode was pretty good. I'm not going to go too in depth, but Raph makes a Frankenfoot as a sparring partner. So this episode was getting a good 8 out of 10. 19A, You Got Served. I'd say 9.5 out of 10 because this was pretty good to see Donnie and Mikey's relationship. 19B, How to Make Enemies and People Bend Your Will. I saw this episode. It's very forgettable. Probably the worst episode so far. A 6 out of 10. 5.5, 6 out of 10. 20A, Mystic Library. Good episode. 9 out of 10. This one is the return of the Purple Dragons. Episode 20B, The Purple Game. Donnie gets obsessed with this game which is actually made by the Purple Dragon. So this episode is a 9 out of 10. Next is 21A, Man vs. Sewer. This episode was very good. I liked it. So this is about Raph is accidentally separated and left alone in the sewers while the turtles do a lazy river ride through the sewers. And Raph gets savage, and he's trying to survive the sewers with an encounter with the Sando brothers, who are main antagonist of this series. 21B, The Mutant Menace. Baxter Stockboy begins revealing the turtles' existence and turning public opinion against them in order to make some big money and as revenge. So, and all of New York eventually turn against the turtles. So, yeah, this was a okay episode. Not bad. 8.5 out of 10. Next is Turtle Dega Nights, the Ballad of the Rat Man. So So this is a cool episode. I'd give it a good 8 out of 10. Next is 22B, The Ancient Art of Ninja Hide and Seek. Oh, I love this episode. This episode is a pretty fun episode. Definitely a 9 out of 10. One Man's Junk is 23A. So this is a return of Repo Mantis, 7.5 out of 10. 23B, Snow Day. So in this, Ghost Bear has mutated into a mutant polar bear in this episode, and the turtles got to stop him. So this would definitely be a 8 out of 10. Next is Cloak and Swaggart. So this episode is okay, not a bad episode. It's about April and Sunita teaming up again, so yeah. Next is Jupiter Jim Ahoy. So like I said in the Repo Mantis episode, Jupiter Jim is the turtles' hero, and the turtles go to a convention where they meet Marcus Moncrief, who portrays their favorite sci-fi movie character, Jupiter Jim. But when they go to his apartment, they find that he has started to see the different trapped fans as the aliens that Jupiter Jim fought in the movies and comics, where Marcus has been more immersed in his character to the point where he thinks he's actually Jupiter Jim. So Marcus becomes obsessed with his character that he played, Jupiter Jim, and he starts becoming really obsessed, and he starts even kidnapping people who look like the aliens he fought off in these movies. I'd say a good 9 out of 10. Insane in the Mama Train. So this is not a bad episode. This episode is about, with the help of Baron Drapsum and the Guardmen, the Foot Clan began to move early to the nearly completed Kuroi Yoroi. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Armor to a ritual site to transport it. Baron Drapsum persuades Big Mama to lend the Foot Clan her train. After training the turtles following the advice of his ancestors, Splinter trains the turtles for his fight. Next is Endgame. The turtles have been captured, and Baron Drapsum sends April back to have Splinter bring the final piece of the Kuroi Yoroi armor or to him or else. So they were bringing up Shredder. So the turtles eventually get kidnapped, and Splinter comes up with the plan to rescue his sons with the help of April, Bullhop, Frankenfoot, Sheldon, and Todd Capybara. When Baron Drapsum assembles the Kuroi armor and dons it, the turtles must find a way to get the Kuroi Yoroi armor off him. Now, we finished season 1. That was a long time, but we finished it. So next we will be doing season 2. Let's go. So next is Many Unhappy Return. Now that the Shredder has been fully reconstructed, the turtle must stop this present foe from shredding New York. So this episode is not a bad episode. This episode is a pretty good episode. I don't know what to give it. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Next is 28A, Todd Scott. So this Splinter has gotten fed up with his sons and their phones, so he leaves them in the forest with Todd supervising them. The turtles need to find out how to listen and get in touch with nature in order to save Todd after he's captured by a group of dentists that mistook Todd for a Sasquatch. This is a good episode. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. 28B, Goyles. With Baron Drapsum out of commission, Huggin and Muggin look for New York after getting trapped by meat sweats. Huggin and Muggin recall their first day working for Drapsum, where their first mission is to obtain Lujitsu from the Battle Nexus. 29A, Flushed But Never Forgotten. We meet Splinter's pet goldfish, Piebald, who was accidentally flushed down the toilet by Leo and mutated after eating a mosquito. So this episode, the turtles lied to Splinter, and they put a rock as a turtle, as the fish, and Splinter stupidly believes it. But then one day, Piebald comes back for revenge. But eventually, the turtles find out that Splinter set them up to show them not to lie, and eventually it was just like a trick, something. We don't see Piebald again for the rest of the series, so that's sad. But a good episode overall, a 9 out of 10. 29B, Layer Games. 8 out of 10. 30A, Breaking Purple. So this is the last of we see the Purple Dragon. So they recruit Sheldon, Donnie's little tech thing. So I'd give this a, I don't know. So far it's the best episode, so 9.5 out of 10. 30B, Repairing the Baron. So this is the 4th episode of Season 2, but the 30 episode in total. So next is the, so this episode would get a good 8 out of 10. So we see the return of Baron Draxum. Anyways, next is 31A, or 5A, Air Turtle. Leo gets his dreams job as the mascot of a local professional basketball team called the New York Daves, owned by Tim Dunkman. Leo finds that the members of the New York Daves are terrible players and talks them into doing whatever it takes to change his mojo. He uses an ancient good luck arch called the Arch of Aquanon. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. That causes the players to become possessed evil spirits that start to change them into demonic forms. Next is 5B, Pizza Puffs. Raph thwarts Meat Sweat's plans to sabotage his rivals with Pizza Puffs spiked with the mystic poison. When he finds that they ate the poisoned Pizza Puffs, Raph teaches his brother a lesson in responsibility, as the poisoned Pizza Puffs affects them in different ways. Raph must get them to solve things themselves as they track down Meat Sweats in order to find the antidote. 6A. So from now on, I'm just going to review the episodes and not really give you guys a good plot because we're running out of time. 6A, Sidekick Ahoy, a 8 out of 10. The Hidden City Job, a 7 out of 10. Always Be Brownies, an 8 out of 10. Mystery Meat, the return of Baron Draxum is in this one. So yeah. So Baron Draxum, yeah, So this one was a good episode. A 8 out of 10. 34, or 8A, Donnie vs. Witchhound. 9 out of 10. 8B, Raph's Ride Along. Good episode. 9 out of 10. 9A, Hidden City's Most Wanted. 9 out of 10. Bad Hair Day. 7 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. Fist of Fury. 8 out of 10, The Clothes Don't Make the Turtle. 8 out of 10, Battle Nexus New York. 9 out of 10, Finale Part 1, Turtle Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. 8 out of 10, something like that. And Finale Part 2, Shreddy or Not. This episode was pretty good. This is the finale. Finale Part 2, so 9 out of 10. Finale Part 3, Antawa Hotoriji Nana. Hotoriji Anai. I don't know if I'm saying that right. This episode title is Japanese, or it's originally You Are Not Alone. So this episode was pretty good, 9 out of 10. And the last episode of the series, Finale Part 4, Rise. So this is the last episode, and it was a very good episode, a 9 out of 10. But that's it for today's video, guys. Oh my god, we finished it. We finished ranking. I finished reviewing all the episodes in order, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe, like, and yeah, tell me what you think in the comments down below, and Cherry Blade out.